is going on, guys? KJ here, back again. Today I am bringing you a review for a long awaited game for a lot of the NHL community, and that is old time hockey. I know a lot of people have been really anticipating this game, so I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and review of this game. I've had it for about 2 weeks now. I've got a lot of gameplay time into it, and I feel like I have a really necessary opinion to share with you guys on whether or not you should or should not purchase this game. So first and foremost, let's start out by talking about the game modes within this game itself. So there are 2 game modes, and that's it. There's exhibition mode and there's story mode. So let's go over exhibition mode real quickly. So when you first jump into the game, your exhibition mode is your standard play now that you have in any single sports game that's available at this point in time. You know, what a shocker. But you'll go in the game mode, and first thing you're going to notice is that you do not have your standard skill stick controls. Right, that's something that you have to unlock by playing through the entire freaking story mode to get the standard skill stick controls that are within like NHL games at this point in time. So it's kind of tedious. When you drop in exhibition match, you're basically playing with 2 button controls, right? Your X button will allow you to pass and switch players, and then the circle button will allow you to shoot and hip check. It's kind of frustrating. It's not that great. So most people are not going to be playing exhibition modes right off the jump. You're really going to have to jump into story mode, beat that, then you can play exhibition mode itself. But exhibition mode, it really isn't useful for anything aside from like playing friends in couch co-op. Other than that, you're basically going to be playing story mode the entire freaking time. So let's go over to story mode. Story mode's actually pretty good. It's a kind of a combination between Be a Pro and your standardized GM mode. So when you start out in story mode, you really don't have access to any controls at all. You have to progress with your team, who starts out at 0 skill level, so you're not going to be able to really do anything. All you have access to in your first game is wrist shots and basic checking. You don't have any access to stuff like speed bursts, poke checks, or slap shots. So, it's kind of basic at the beginning, but you do have to play through a couple of story mode games in order to unlock different skills at the start. And then eventually you're going to have to play for quite some time before you unlock like poke checks and stuff like that are a little bit more advanced skill. But story mode is really difficult. As I said, it's kind of a blend between Be a Pro and Franchise mode, as when you start story mode, your team will have a 0 skill rating. So it'll be very difficult for you to score goals, play defense, and be physical on the ice. You actually have to, play story mode a lot in order to level up your team. Your team basically gets rated in 3 different categories: offense, defense, and physical play. The better you play, the higher your skill rating will be in each, and basically you rank them up. I don't really know what the max ranking is right now. I'm only at like 1 for offense, 2 for defense, and 1 for physical, so I'm not sure what the max is. It's probably about 5. But the higher they get, the easier of a time you're going to have on the game. Just means your team's a lot better. So instead of, a standard GM mode, having you draft players and, over the years, they gradually get better and better. The better you play, the better your team's going to get just by you ranking them up itself. So basically that is story mode. It's very simple. It's very well done. There's a few other things where you can earn collectibles for completing in-game challenges and stuff like that, which are basically just hockey cards for certain players in the game. You can't use them. I'm sure there's an achievement for unlocking all of them, so that's kind of a thing, but there's really no purpose in that in and of itself. So the next thing I wanted to get into is a big thing, and this is a really big thing for me, and this really tarnishes my view on the game. There is no online game mode in old time hockey, and this completely ruins the gaming experience for me on this game. Generally speaking, the gameplay itself isn't that great, but it does set up for a very fun experience if you're someone who likes playing really physical hockey games and doesn't like having great playing mechanics. This would be a great game to play against friends. It really would be, and it's such a shame that there is no online game mode. Now, hopefully down the line, the developers can add in an online game mode. I don't know if that's a possibility, but if they do, it'll really significantly change my opinion on this game itself. But the fact that this game does not have an online game mode really makes me dislike it, because I don't foresee anyone playing this game for an extended period of time to just play story mode or exhibition games. Like, it's fine if you want to play games against your friend in exhibition mode. Like if you have friends over to watch a game or something like that and there's an intermission, you hop on, you play a quick match. That's fine, but not having online in 2017 is a huge point. you know, taken away from this game. It's absolutely horrendous that there is no online game mode in this game itself. Last but not least, let's go over the gameplay real quick. When I originally got this game, the gameplay was absolutely atrocious. It was completely unplayable. It was absolutely just terrible. But luckily, the developers have put a patch in the game for day one that definitely improved the game a lot more, and it's a lot more bearable to play. But there's still some issues I have with the game in and of itself. There's a real delay in the game, right? Before they patched it, there was about a 2 to 3 second delay when your player received the puck before you could even do anything, which made one-timers completely unavailable as an option to score in this game. One-timers still can't be done, so it's incredibly hard to score, cycle the puck, all that shit. It's very, very difficult to score. You can't do one-timers, which kind of ruins the hockey experience as a whole for me. Just general things. The delay really affects a lot of things, such as fighting. The fighting in the game is really bad. Basically, to win a fight is like putting down, you know, a bet on roulette and hitting the number, right? It's extremely random. There's really no skill involved into it because of the delay on the controllers, stuff like that. It's very, very hard to play. The shooting in the game is pretty bad, especially because you have to unlock all these skills through story mode, stuff like that. When you're playing the game and you don't have skills, but the computer does on the other team, you'll get knocked off the puck in front of the net. It just, all in all, ends for a very frustrating gaming experience. The one thing I do like about the game, and this is kind of a positive and a negative, is that the goalies do not freeze pucks. They will always play the puck behind their net, which can lead to some interesting scoring opportunities for the opposing computer. But at the same time, it definitely speeds the gameplay up, which is nice because it's a very fast-paced arcade game. At the same time, there's a lot of issues that I've noticed from the goalie putting the puck behind my net. I've noticed instances where the puck just goes through the side of the net or it hits the back of my goalie. I'm not really sure because it's like a 2.5D game, so it's not really clear what happens, but it seems that the puck just passes through the net and it ends up being a goal. So a lot of weird stuff happens. It's extremely hard to score. There's no penalties in the game except for when you hit the ref, or the only time there's stoppage is when you hit the ref and there's a penalty or when there's a fight in the game. So it's nice, it's fast paced, but just generically speaking, the gameplay itself is horrible. It's very slow, it's very clunky. The player switching in this game is worse than NHL 17, which I didn't even know was a thing, but it's horrible. Half the time, I can't even switch to a player that I want to. Players will get frozen on the ice. They won't be able to move. I don't know where my AI is half the time. They're just standing there. They don't play defense. Nothing gets done, and it's such a frustrating gaming experience as a whole. The only plus side that I have for playing this game is it's really fun from a physical perspective, like having players fly around the ice from doing hip checks and stuff like that. It's great. It's really fun, but, you know, as a whole experience for a hockey game, it's just not satisfying to me. If I had to give this game a rating out of 10, at this current point in time, I would probably give it a 4 out of 10. And if eventually online play was added, maybe a 5 out of 10 at that. For $12, it's pretty good value. It's a great thing that the developers have already stepped in and addressed some of the issues that were there, before the game actually launched. If those weren't addressed, I would easily be giving this game a 2 out of 10, and I would tell you right now, don't buy it. At a 4 out of 10, for $12, it's still pretty cheap. I would say if you want to buy it, go right ahead. Obviously, there's other games that are coming out, especially on the same day. If you have a PlayStation, right, I would highly recommend picking up MLB The Show, obviously. So, there are definitely better options. This game is not the replacement for NHL that you would have liked. Obviously, no online gameplay is a horrible thing for this game. It really hurts it. The gameplay is kind of clunky. The physical play is fun. If you were expecting like an NHL Hits meets like NHL 94 experience, it's kind of that, but executed pretty poorly. All in all, if you want to buy the game for $12, it's not that bad of a value, pending that the developers do support it in the future and address some of the issues. Right now, I can't say that I would recommend purchasing the game. I don't really see myself playing it too much in the future, to be honest, unless I kind of get bored of playing other games. So that's my review. Hopefully it helped you guys make a firm decision on whether or not you want to buy the game. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like down below. I'd highly appreciate it. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. My link is in the description. And as always, guys, take it easy.
Rocks on my wrist. Rap game, rich, yeah. Rocks on my hand. Grand candy, big a dad.